Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead and another What We Eat for Dinner in a Week. In these videos, I show you how I combine inexpensive Aldi groceries with food that we are blessed with from the food pantry to combine those to make hopefully well-balanced, well-rounded meals. As a family, we generally eat low carb because my husband and I do for health reasons, and as the sole cook in the house, it's just easier for me to make one meal than to try to be a short order cook. But you'll see variations to that, and I'll explain as we go. I know it's been a while. Sorry about that. I needed a break. I was burnt out, and I still am a little bit burnt out. Not on YouTube, but just life in general. I'm tired. Just with all the holiday hullabaloo, and we keep getting colds over and over and over again. And we stayed up until 1:30 in the morning on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, which is not... I'm normally in bed by 9 p.m., y'all. We had my family's get together was delayed because my family, we live about an hour and a half away from home, and they all had the flu and bronchitis, and it's just been absolute craziness. And I generally get, at the end of the year, the beginning of the winter, I get the doldrums. I get the I'm just ready to hibernate for the winter anyway. So it just all kind of compounded, and I just needed to take something off of my plate. And this is what I chose to take off of my plate. And I'm so sorry that I left you guys hanging. We're all okay. Like I said, we've all just had colds, but nothing major. So, yeah. So... tonight is actually not Monday night. Normally I start these on Monday, but I did not film last night. Yesterday we had hamburgers and cucumber, tomato salad, and sweet potato fries. So it wasn't anything special, and it was kind of one of those where I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to film this week, and then I completely spaced it because I've gotten out of the habit. So tonight it has been a dreary, nasty, cold, rainy day today. So I was in the mood for some comfort food. And so this is comfort food to me. This is the original recipe that I remember finding. They called it Keto Best Friends Casserole, but, there's not really any name for it. Whenever I write it down, I write down Best Friends Casserole. But like, I don't even know what to call it. I need to come up with a name. Creamy beef and beans sounds awful. But that's the closest thing I can do to describing it. So I did a pound of ground beef and a pound of ground turkey. Brown that up with an onion. And then I added in some Italian seasoning. At this point, I don't even use the recipe. I will link the recipe in the show notes, but I don't even use the recipe. I added in most of a block of cream cheese, a little bit of heavy whipping cream, and I probably gotta need to put some salt in it. Then you kind of cook that all together, simmer it all together to melt the cream cheese, all of that. And then I added in 2 home canned quarts of green beans. And then I just put a lid on that and let that warm up. While that was warming up, I just did instant mashed potatoes. So to serve this, I will skip the mashed potatoes to keep it low carb. You could serve it over mashed cauliflower. I also think this would be really good over rice or like buttered noodles. Just something to kind of extend it a little bit further if you need to. I mean, I can just eat a bowl of this, no problem, without anything under it. But if you are serving, especially a large family or trying to keep on a budget, that's where the starch comes in underneath. So to serve this, I will put a serving of mashed potatoes in a bowl. Then I will put this on top, and there is like a small amount of like gravy sauce type stuff going on in there. And then we usually sprinkle it with a little bit of mozzarella cheese. The original recipe has you pour all of this into a like casserole dish, sprinkle it with cheese, and put it in the oven. But I like quick and easy meals. This took me a half an hour from start to finish to make. So, and in that time, I was also doing other things because you don't really have to babysit it super well. So, all right. I'm glad to be back. Yeah, that is Tuesday night. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, look at me remembering to film 2 days in a row. Today is Wednesday, and tonight we are having salmon patties. Salmon is something that we get from the food pantry pretty often, and is something that my kids all enjoy with ketchup because, you know, that's how we do it. So this was 2 cans of salmon. I drain the liquid off, pull just the big bones out. I leave the little bones, they don't bother us. My great grandma growing up always left the big ones, and I could not stand it. The texture of that just got to me. To that, I added in 1 egg and some salt, and you can use a binder of some kind. So Parmesan cheese, pork rinds, cracker crumbs, flour, something along those lines. It's probably maybe 1/4 of a cup per can. It's just kind of to help hold it together so that they will stay in patty form and not fall apart. So then I just browned them in some avocado oil. Because the salmon is already cooked, it's more about heating them up and then the little bit of cooking the egg. So not a big deal. With that, we have some steamed buttered carrots, and then a quart of home canned green beans that I just did in the air fryer with some seasoned salt. Yes, green beans for 2 days in a row, because I still have plenty of canned green beans from last year, so I'm gonna use them. I generally can enough for us to eat at least 2 quarts a week, give or take, for the season where we don't have fresh green beans. So if we have fresh green beans, we're obviously eating those. But for all the rest of the months that we don't, I always try to have about 2 quarts of green beans, which at this point, if my husband is home and the kids are hungry, then we can easily go through 2 quarts if I air fry them, because they shrink down quite a bit. See? Yeah. But we all really like them like that, so. All right, that is Wednesday night's dinner. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Thursday night, and tonight we are having soups, and that actually ended up working out because my husband came home early with a nasty sore throat, which is what one of my guys has been dealing with for the last couple of days. So he's going to want some nice soup to have tonight. So in pure large family fashion, we have 3 pots of soup, because some of my kids like one and don't like the others, and some of them like the others and don't like the one. So I make usually at least 2 kinds of soup. So tonight we have, this is the Southwest style soup that I canned mostly from our garden produce this fall, late summer, fall. This one got really corn heavy, this jar of it. So this was just 1 quart, and this was one of them that I didn't add any meat to. So it's just a vegetable soup, but it was chicken broth. So this one is the container of chicken noodle soup that we got from the food pantry today, and it smells yummy. And then this one is creamy, cheesy ham and broccoli soup, kind of like Panera Bread's version, where you add some heavy whipping cream and some cream cheese to it to get it really nice and thick and creamy. That one's mine. Obviously some other people will be eating it too. And then to go with that, I just had some, lighting challenges. I had some dinner rolls in the freezer that I had already cut with the intention of doing some mini sliders with them, or baked sandwiches or something like that. So I went ahead and spread butter on all of them. This half just has butter and garlic powder. This half has butter, garlic powder, and cheese, because I had some kids say they wanted cheese and some say they didn't. So, yeah, I'm ready for a nice big bowl of that. All right, that is Thursday night's dinner. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Friday night, and Friday night at our house means pizza night. Sometimes that's store-bought, sometimes it's homemade. It is pretty much never takeout, because we live too far out in the country for takeout to be delivered. So by the time that we would order it, drive into town, pick it up, and bring it home, I can make a whole lot of frozen pizzas for a whole lot cheaper anyway, so we just never do it. Like once every couple of years max. So yeah, tonight is homemade pizza. This is my pizza crust. The recipe that I do makes 4 of these pizza crusts, so whenever I do it, I bake all 4 of them for 10 minutes, what's called par baking, and 2 of them I put in the freezer, and the other 2 we have for dinner. So these 2 are the 2 that I put in the freezer, and I'm always thankful to have these. And tonight almost got spoiled because we had no power about 45 minutes ago. And evidently it was pretty darn close because we saw multiple of our electricity co-op vehicles drive right past our house, and we live out in the middle of nowhere. So, yeah, it was out for probably an hour or so. I was kind of making plans on what else I was going to make, throw together, and luckily it came back on. But I was also thankful that I already had the pizza crusts made because it made for a quick and easy. Because once I par bake them, then I just put the toppings on and bake them for another 10 to 12 minutes, depending on how done you like your toppings, and how done you like your crust. But it works out great. So tonight we have a Hawaiian. Last night's broccoli and ham soup, I just saved back enough for 1 pizza worth of ham from it, and then the canned pineapple. We're gonna put that in quotation marks. It's a little bit more complicated than this, but you essentially can overgrown pineapple or overgrown zucchini in pineapple juice, and it takes on the flavor of pineapple. It's kind of a mild, less acidic pineapple, but works quite well and uses up some of those like baseball bat sized zucchini that everyone ends up with. I also did a half pepperoni and half cheese. Some of my kids don't like pepperoni, so I do this sometimes, and that works. They requested barbecue chicken, but I didn't have any pre-cooked chicken that I could use, so I didn't do that. And then I did a quick fruit salad. This is 1 apple, a half of a frozen banana, some frozen blueberries, a can of fruit cocktail, the one from the food pantry earlier this week, and a half of a pint of home canned pears that one of the kids had opened up and had for breakfast a couple of days ago, so it needed use. And that just makes for a quick and easy side. I had a little guy last night, we're not sure yet what's going on, that woke up in the middle of the night with a upset tummy to the extent of being sick. And we don't know. He's my guy that's had tummy issues in the past and just has a super sensitive stomach on certain things. So we don't know whether he has picked up a stomach bug and we're waiting for other people to come down with it, or whether he just didn't, whatever he ate yesterday didn't set well with him. We don't know. So he's the only one that ate the taco soup. So we're going to cautiously probably throw the rest of that away just in case. I can't imagine it was that, because normally food poisoning takes like 24 to 48 hours to show up, and this was like not even 6 hours after eating. So yeah. Anyway, so that's, I had planned on doing salad, and I thought, well, let's do this because he's been fine most of the day today. He ate some snacky lunch and ate a snack, so he's ready to eat, and so he's going to eat a small amount of pizza, and then I knew the fruit salad would be something easy on his stomach, so that's why we went that direction instead, which I guess you didn't need to know about. I don't know. For me, and my husband is home tonight. I'm not sure what he wants because he still has a sore throat. He did go to his work's walk-in clinic today, and he doesn't have strep throat. It's just a nasty sore throat. Mind you, he's a semi-truck driver, so when he's in his truck, he is having to talk loud to the other driver in the vehicle with him. So if it's one of those where there's a really good chance he just strained a basic sore throat and made the basic sore throat worse than it actually was before. So yeah, we both may end up, we're probably just going to have leftovers of whatever's in the refrigerator because, yeah, that sounds good to me. So, yeah. All right. That is Friday night, and we will see you tomorrow, pending what happens tomorrow. We're supposed to go to my husband's company holiday party for just the adults, and I have already put a stipulation on that if anyone else is getting sick between now and then I will probably end up not going because I'm not going to leave them home. My 14-year-old was going to be in charge I was not going to leave them home with her to handle that, and we don't have a babysitter back up to handle that, and I wouldn't want them to handle that anyway. So fingers crossed that nobody else gets sick, because yeah, we would like to go. So, all right, long-winded, gonna stop. See you tomorrow. It is Saturday night, and we are not going to my husband's holiday party. He was still having awful sore throat today, and I told him, I said, you need to go back to the walk-in clinic because you need to get tested for strep again. There's no way this is not strep. So he ended up going to a different walk-in clinic that was way more thorough. We will not be going back to that first one. And yeah, he tested positive for strep. So he obviously needed to stay home, so we did. So far, nobody else has gotten stomach issues like the one guy had on Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night into Friday morning. So I don't know whether that was just a fluke or whether it just hasn't hit anybody yet. I don't know, hopefully. So yeah. If I'm going to ask for medical advice, which is you're not supposed to do that, but if you know of a way to prevent people in the household from getting strep, please let me know. Obviously, we're not sharing drinks. We're not kissing on each other, toothbrushes, all of that. We're keeping separate, not eating after each other. And so far, my husband is the only one with it. So more than likely, he has picked it somewhere up while he was not at home. But hopefully nobody else gets it. So if you know of something like gargling salt water or something, I don't know, that helps prevent it, please let me know. Also, if you know of anything that helps with the throat pain, he tried like the chloroseptic spray stuff and it did not work. He is taking pain meds, but that's not working either. So if you know of something besides taking the antibiotics that helps with the throat pain, please let us know, because he is not a happy camper right now. Hopefully in 2 days when he has to go back to work, it's better. We'll see. So anyway, because we did not go, I had to come up with something for dinner tonight. I had planned on doing peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and apple slices for the kids while we were gone. But yeah, we wanted something more than that, obviously. So I threw together Big Mac salad, which is one of our favorites. When I said we're having Big Mac salad, everybody was happy. So it is everything that you would have on a Big Mac, but on a salad instead. So you've got lettuce, and then you top it with, this is a pound of ground turkey and a pound of ground deer meat. I am not a big fan of straight deer meat, but if I mix it half and half with ground turkey, it kind of tames the gaminess down a little bit, makes it not quite so overwhelming. So that, and then there's shredded cheese, cheddar, some chopped up dill pickle, some cherry tomatoes that I just diced up. I don't think a Big Mac originally comes with bacon on it, but we do bacon on ours. I think you can add that. It also obviously doesn't come with croutons on it, but I was kind of thinking this might be like the bun on there. So these are actually gluten-free, and when I looked at the carb count, for 4 to 5 croutons is 4 carbs, which isn't horrible. Not great, but not horrible either. So I might actually throw a few croutons on mine too. But like I said, I thought that might just kind of take the place of the bread. And then the Big Mac sauce. Here, I've got the recipe here if you can read my handwriting. I will put this in the show notes. It is half a cup of mayo, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of relish, like minced up, 2 teaspoons of mustard, 2 teaspoons of vinegar, lovely handwriting, really, and then a half teaspoon each of onion powder and paprika. And like I said, I will put that, type that up in the show notes. When I'm writing a recipe for myself, it's just a mess. I don't even care. As long as I can read it, that's fine. So that's the sauce, and I did double that because we all like it, and because I did the 2 pounds of meat, there will probably be some of this left for someone to eat tomorrow. So if you are new here, this is the end of our week of meals. I don't cook on Sundays. I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do laundry, I don't do dishes, anything work related I don't do. We go to church, we come home, we goof off for the rest of the day. It is a day of rest for us. We, try to observe the Sabbath or Shabbat and keep it holy. So because of that, there's no meals tomorrow. When we get home from church tomorrow, those of us that may or may not go, we're going to base it on how everybody feels tomorrow. There's a few of us that aren't sick at all. So we'll see. But generally, when we get home from church, I pull out all of the leftovers from the week and I lay them on the counter, and then I let the kids pick and choose whatever they want. They make their plates, put it in the microwave, and that's lunch. Gets all of the leftovers used and makes it to where I don't have to cook after church. Then Sunday night, I will pull out charcuterie board things. So dried fruits, cured meats, cheeses, pickles, fresh veggies, popcorn, goat cheese, graham crackers, peanut butter, anything that you would normally see on a charcuterie board. I pull all of that out. I just lay all the containers out on the kitchen counter. And once again, the kids get to pick and choose what they want. And on that night, I even bust out paper plates. And then they can kind of peruse and come back and get more if they want to. And once again, makes for a nice, quick and easy meal that I don't have to cook. So, all right, that is everything. I will make sure to post any relevant recipes in the show notes. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me this week. I'm glad that I had the mental wherewithal and the umption and gumption to get back at it. So hopefully I'll do this again next week. We'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye and God bless.